Hello everyone, welcome to High Playing Games. It's Simon here, and this is Tactera, a new game from the people that made Darknet. And you can kind of see the resemblance in terms of style is very similar. However, this game it reminds me of the latest versions of what Ubisoft done with board games, where they put it out in like a neon futuristic VR type environment, like what they did with Risk. But this game has much more in common with Mushroom Wars. Actually, is the game that sprung to mind immediately. It is a real-time strategy game which is really quite fascinating, and what I'm going to do is dive into the options first. So there is a VR version for Steam and for Oculus Rift, and this is the non-VR version because I don't own VR. So it is certainly not optimized for non-VR is all I'm going to say, but you do have the option of going like forward and backwards slightly with the camera, so you can kind of at least do a look down, look up kind of thing. This is as far kind of as big as the playing screen can be for you, but you can at least raise it up and down so that you can really look and see what's going on, and that's as far close as you can get. But what you'll see is that the play area itself kind of usually works out okay, but the what am I going to say? Some of the menu stuff starts to zip far away, and that does not look good. I'm just going to reset campaign now, so that I can dive straight in. So. Essentially, the game works in a very similar style initially on the top layer to just basically like a tile Risk-verse format over here, before then descending into a Mushroom Wars style game. So at the beginning you deploy some tank units out, and these represent your army. You always must leave one piece of army behind, or tank behind, so you can kind of see what can and can't be moved. And anything that's still white there means that I can kind of move them around afterwards. So immediately I want to start pushing these guys out. But that's as many or as far as I can go with that. However, I've got some ones here that could be quite interesting to push forward on. So what I might do... Actually, do you know what? I think I'll stay there and I'll end the turn. The enemy will then have its turn. Oh, and then decide to move things forward. So it's moving forward 2 against me there. And then it will kind of bring up what battles we've got. And here's where you can see like the non-VR optimization has come to fruition here. So this gives me 25% chance of winning. This gives me a 75% chance of winning. And you decide which one you want to take command of when you actually then go in and take battle of. And you can only choose one per round. So that one I'm statistically more likely to win. So I'm going to ignore that and go in for the 25% chance. Now the 3 versus 2 basically means that when you go into this real-time strategy battle, you'll have 2 places to start with versus 3, or 1 versus 3, or 3 versus 3, or 2 versus 2 normally. Now over here you have a selection of different units that you can bring into battle, and you generally only have the choice. Well, you have the choice of 3, and then you can't use that again for 2 rounds. So you kind of look around and see what you can have and what works. So you have the Jackal, which is like a nice little traverser that can shoot stuff and can be produced quite quickly. So we'll have that. I will also have my Artillery, which allows me to shoot things over long distances, although it's easily taken over by opposition fire. And what else will I have? I want something that flies. Nimble and aggressive. Designed entirely around mobility. Wow, that sounds good. So once you've chosen the 3 that you want, and you can deselect and keep going, you then finalise, and it will take you to the battle board. So these seem to be quite randomly generated, and we're off and away. So immediately, what I want to do is challenge the white spaces first, and this is what makes me think of Mushroom Wars to begin with, because you need to start taking over different places and really going for it. Looks like they've upgraded something as well. That's
base captured.
okay. Let's go for this one. I then want.
Understood.
So every time there becomes a glow around it,
Working on it. Working.
essentially that's what kind of makes you not good, but it gets you going quicker. Now everything seems to redefine what it wants to go for afterwards.
Outpost.
So I want them to go
Build orders received.
that way. Actually, to be fair,
Working on it.
boost that. Try and get as many of these going as possible.
Copy that. Move out.
And you can also do this as well to kind of like get a sphere of influence. So you can kind of push everyone in a certain direction if you want to. I'm going to go for secondary
New and improved.
fire. So that's you when you upgrade something. You can see we're upgrading quite a few things, and this could be a problem because they're sending tanks our way. Let's try and bomb it and get rid of it. And it will quite typically become a bit of a battle for the middle one. Quite often. So I'll go for that. That can go over there. And then it essentially becomes a very quick tactical battle as to who wants to go for what.
Reinforcements on the way. Open fire.
Let's push in and get battling. I feel like we are
Base in range.
very much in the minority. There is no such thing as friendly fire here as well,
Targets in range.
which is quite useful to know.
Artillery firing.
Or I think it is anyway.
Weapons eyes.
There we go. I knew they'd get it back. I knew they'd get it back. So, whilst that's on a low base, everyone go nuts for it.
Starting construction.
And there we go. We've got it back. But it's that poxy tank. That tank is horrible.
Going now. Working on it. Target received. Base is lost.
Yeah, and look, they're doing the rounds. They're just doing the rounds. That's really awkward. And then they're pushing up another base.
Targeting. Base now ready. Starting construction. Oscar Mike. Target acquired.
Get that back.
Outpost is exposed.
Ah, I think we're going to lose.
Deploying. Outpost upgraded. Copy those coordinates.
Okay, we got rid of one of them.
Stand by. Firing. Copy
Because
that.
I've gone into full-on defensive mode, this is where the problem for me lies.
Open fire.
I need to kind of get rid of that. don't I?
Let's do it. We're in contact. Got it. Reinforcements out. Affirmative. Zeroing in. Going now. Copy.
And now it's attacking that, and that's going to start to lose health. So as you can see, it's a very quick-fired strategy game, which is great because that's exactly the kind of thing that I really like and enjoy. I'm not very good at them, but this seems relatively well balanced.
Deploying.
Absolutely kicking our ass.
Units engaged. Taking fire.
So let's get everyone in there. I think we're going to lose this one.
Targeting.
It's that's doing it. Yeah, knew it.
Orders received.
You took on the wrong challenge, son.
Take it out. Roger. Target acquired. Oscar Mike. IDF on the way. Roger that.
And now they're all upgrading, and we are doomed. So yeah, you need to be able to work quickly to understand the name of the tide. And they've also chosen whatever it is that they are working with as a much better, I think, way of dealing with things. I haven't got the full spread of weapons to play with anymore. So that's another one gone. This one's going to go soon. Yeah, that one might go first.
Defenses are down.
And now we have nothing to actually shoot with. So it's just a matter of time, and we wasn't able to capture it.
Enemy is taking control. We're going to have to pull.
So those mortar ones are powerful, but they don't let you capture anything. So we got defeated. So we lose that battle. Did we win this one? No, we didn't. Oh dear. And there we go, you get calculated on what you've then got next to have a go at. You deploy what you can, which was a whole one, and then you decide to move on from there on. That is the game, essentially. So whoever then wins at the end and collects all of the hexes, or is that a hex? Yes, it is a hexagon. Then wins the actual game itself. It's tight, it's quick, it's really well balanced, because all of the different types of weapons that you have can kind of push things back again. So let's try. Into there. Into there. Into there. Into there. I don't want to push forward. I want to back up what we've got, because they can only move forward a couple. So that's a 3 versus 3 going on there. We'll have. So when we go in for another battle here, we'll have to choose a different set of 3. And I really like this aspect, because it means that you can't rely on a certain setup all the time because they're gone. In my head, I always want something projectiling, something on ground and something on air. But as you saw there, if you don't kind of get the placement right and be able to get going quick enough, you're in trouble. Now this is a 3 versus 3, so this could be quite interesting for us. What's that do? So that's the tanks. We'll have those. The Scorpion artillery. So that's what was beating us down last time. I don't know if I'll use that straight away. I want something. That bomber is fast and it's airbound, so that could be quite good. Leviathan. So they're huge, but they take forever to make and they're not very mobile. And they're even worse. But very powerful all the same. I might Let's see, they're quite mobile. Right, let's go all out on attack as opposed to trying to artillerize ourselves. So again, we get a different play area, we get different things to play with, and straight away to get going.
Dispatching bombers. Attacking enemy outposts. Orders received.
So I've got some attacking that one, we'll attack this one as well. Oh god, they've got massive tanks again.
Captured enemy outpost.
We'll have that as chunky tanks, please. Then also want to upgrade. Upgrade. Upgrade.
Upgrading. Upgrading. Base captured.
Right, so this one's going to be the focal point, so let's go for those.
Flying your way. Starting production.
So look, that's... oh, great!
We have control of the base. Will do.
Again, I want to go in with mass firepower though.
Outpost working on it. Upgrades complete.
We might have a bit of a problem here.
Outpost upgraded. Enemies getting pushed back. Keep it up. Build orders received. Reinforcements out. Got it.
So again, this one's looking quite dodged, so we need to get rid of these people quite quickly. Oh, Christ. Now, are they going for the white one? Yes, they are. So again, let's see if we can try and get rid of this base. Oh, that could be quite interesting. Let's go for bombers over there.
Units engaged. Taking fire.
So again, look, we've got rid of that boss there. They can do that. We can dive in here. Let's try and get rid of as many of these as possible.
Contact.
Can have that, that's fine.
Going now.
So let's upgrade those bombers. Let's also upgrade those. And get some more of these little guys out.
Weapons hot.
But see how quickly everything can kind of turn around.
Roger.
I feel less terrible that I lost the last one now.
Let's do it. Working on it.
Upgrade those. So at the moment, in all of the stuff here, and whatever I've done so far, they've always been a 2-tier upgrade and that's it.
Copy that. Move out.
I've never had anything else happen. Oh good, we got rid of that giant.
Enemy base secured.
Okay, I think we're good. Yes we are! El Victory! There we go, I feel a bit better about myself now. So we pushed that back. So that was good. We are still losing though in terms of actual army placements and reinforcements. And there we go. We don't have enough to actually redeploy this time round. Whereas they do. And that's the advantage of having more hexes. And they're moving up, so it's always a 3x3, which means that whenever we're moving 2 in, we're always in trouble. So you're always having to fight against the odds. So it really means that those opening battles you really have to go for. But that is Tactera. I'm just going to go back to the menu here. So alongside that campaign menu, you can have a skirmish, which is where you don't bother with the hexagons and you just dive in, choose your fleet, and off and away you go. Multiplayer, which currently isn't available because this game is in beta whilst I'm taking a look at it. Thank you for the developer for sending us across. I've not been able to check out, but essentially you can go to it's 2 versus 2. But yeah, thoroughly enjoying it. From a non-VR perspective, There's some tuning that could be done with some of the menu options, but aside from that, this is a really nice and nimble real-time strategy game that I think will scratch an itch for people if you just want like a quick 10-minute run. Perfect. So that's it on Higher Plane Games. Thanks for watching. You guys will take care. There'll be a written review of this over on higherplanegames.com very shortly. Bye for now.
This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.